Hey everybody, happy Saturday. I made myself a goal to read 52 books this year, and I have made this goal time and time again, I did not accomplish it. So I'm holding myself as accountable as possible by coming on here and sharing with you as I venture through this goal. So I don't want to say finally, I actually finished my first book of the new year, which is amazing because it's the first week of the new year and it's the first book. Like, I'm actually on track to reaching this goal. And I think I want to touch on that for a second because a lot of us set goals like, I want to lose 50 pounds, and then when we lose 5 pounds we're like, well, but that's not 50, I need to keep going. And so my goal was 52 books, and I read one book and I celebrated the crap out of it today. Like, I was excited with Hannah, who didn't know what the heck I was talking about. I was excited to tell John. I was just excited, and now I'm telling you guys. So I want to start by saying to give yourself some credit when you make a big goal, especially a year-long goal. Celebrate the little victories along the way, and it'll keep you going, and it'll remind you why exactly you made that goal in the first place. So my first book of the year was Girl Wash Your Face, and I realize it's probably backwards for you, but that's okay. You've all heard of the book. You've probably all seen the book. I'm sure 90% of you have read the book. And I wanted to come on here every time I finish a book and talk about it with you guys because, one, I do a lot of personal development. If you watch my Motivational Mondays, they are literally fueled by these books. So I'd love for you to know exactly what I'm reading, what I took from it, and why I think you should or should not read it. And then I'll give you tips along the way that I learned. So, Girl Wash Your Face is basically where Rachel Hollis, the amazing Rachel Hollis, breaks down different lies that she has believed throughout her lifetime that have held her back. She breaks them down, tells you why they're false, tells you amazing stories of her life, and how she lived those lies personally and how she got through it, and it is incredible. I'm not going to give you super details because just go buy the flipping book and read it, okay? If you don't like to read, listen to the audiobook because she actually reads it, and I love when authors read their books for an audiobook. I just think that adds so much, I don't know, it makes it more personal. So anyway, so this book is incredible. It's not very big. I loved how quick the chapters were. I could get through a chapter super, super fast. And I was able to read it in a week, and it wasn't like spending 4 hours a day reading, okay? And it wasn't strenuous, and it wasn't, what does that word mean? And it wasn't, this is so boring. Am I ever going to survive this chapter? It was super quick and super amazing, okay? So, Girl Wash Your Face. A tip that I have, some tips. What I did to be able to finish this book in 1 week, and of course you guys are so smart, you already know this, but why not share it? I looked at how many chapters were in the book, including the introduction, and I divided it by 6. I did not do 7 because I wanted to give myself a cushion and a day off, like an option for a day off if I wanted to. So I divided it by 6, and then I read that many chapters every single day. I made it my number 1 priority. For me, reading is like one of the most important things I can do for myself. I'm growing my mind. I'm escaping reality for a few minutes, it's just like my therapy. So I made this a priority every day. Like, there were times when I was reading when Hannah was playing, and yes, I was watching her, but somehow she let me still read my book while she was playing. There were days when, I'm telling you guys, I read before I allowed Netflix to come on my TV, or at least for me. Of course, Hannah watches Netflix, but like, I did not watch TV. I did not any other time-wasting things until I had read my chapters. And then by the time I had read my chapters, I was so inspired, I didn't want to watch freaking Netflix anyway. I wanted to make things happen. And you'll see those things that we're making happen pop up on my wall every once in a while. But another tip is to get a notebook. When you are reading motivational books, when you're reading inspirational books, when you're reading personal development growth books, you need to have a notebook, okay? So as I was going through this book, and I'm going to keep showing it just because I know people are popping in and out. As I was going through this book, at the end of every chapter, she gives like a few notes about how she got through or got past the lies that she had told herself that limited herself. So what I did was, in this notebook, I would write a few things that really stuck out to me from each chapter. So I would like to give you just a few examples, really, really quick, okay? So one that I loved was work as hard for fun moments as you do for the other things. So we work super hard for, like, to be able to pay our bills and for all these things, but we don't work as hard for the vacation or for the spa or for the nails or for the home renovation, like the fun things that we just want to do for ourselves, for the new pair of pants, for whatever, for the gift for your loved one. We don't work as hard for the fun things, and that was one of her challenges, and I loved that. So I literally took like pages of notes on this book. And what I love about this system is that this notebook started in May of last year. And whenever I read a book that really moves me, or when I hear a podcast that really moves me, I write notes. As soon as I'm done reading, as soon as I'm done listening, I write it down so that, like, let's say 10 freaking years from now, I'm like, man, I am not feeling inspired at all. Like, I am stuck. I'm in a rut. I suck. I this, I that. I can go to these notebooks and I can get re-inspired, and I can remember that crazy book I read that told me to work hard for the fun things. You know what I mean? And I don't have to reread an entire book again. I don't have to reread an entire library to find that one thing I thought I remembered hearing in a book or something. Or reading. So get yourself a notebook. This is seriously not a crazy notebook. I'm probably going to get a nicer one next time, but I wanted to try this one just as an experiment, and it has been incredible. So anyway, Girl Wash Your Face was really good. Easy to read, super quick to read. She gives such good, super personal, like, stories about her life that will make you feel so normal. Like, if you want to know what it's like in my head, I told John this. I was like, if you want to know what's going on in my head, read this book. I'm so serious. And it's amazing because how many people have read this book, guys? Like, probably millions. I don't know. I could look it up. But people keep reading this book and sharing this book and talking about this book because they feel like that's what's going on in their heads. And I feel like that's what's going on in my head. Like, I read it and I was like, yes, girl, yes, 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 yes. I'm not crazy. So I just think that's incredible. It's a solidarity thing. It's like, I'm thinking it and I'm crazy because, only I feel that way about myself, or only I feel that way about me as a mother or me as a wife or whatever, or my weight or whatever. And no, I read this book and she feels the same way about a lot of the things that I do. And I know that every woman who has shared it feels the same way too. So we are not alone. It's so incredible. So anyway, thank you for giving me a part of your day, guys. This book is amazing. Please read it or listen to the audiobook. And if nothing else, I'm also listening to her podcast, the Rise Up podcast. She has a few of them. So I listen to basically any of her podcasts, and it's the same. Meaning her tone is the same, her message is similar, like she's just genuine, I guess is what I'm getting at. So if you don't like reading, or if you read this and you need more of Rachel Hollis, look her up for her podcasts, because it's like an extension. Her podcast is like an extension of her books, which is how it should be, because she's writing from the heart and she's speaking from the heart. So anyway, good book. Follow it up with podcasts. If you want to talk about this book, please reach out, because it is incredible. If you want to talk about how similar we are, because she literally read our minds and put it on paper, totally reach out. Share this book with everyone you know. Get yourself a notebook and take some notes so you don't have to reread it 1,000 times if you can't, if you don't have the time for that. I will share my next book next week. I'm actually going to read a fiction novel, which I'm very excited about. And I'll give some tips about that as well. So have an awesome week, guys. Thanks for giving me a part of your day. Let me know if you have questions about reaching your goals. If you want to share your goals, totally do that, and we can hold each other accountable. It'll be awesome. But thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll see you guys later. Have a great night.